Hey guys and girls, this is the Fierce, known by the name of Man of Fury, aka the underdog for underground. Back again, doing another double review for Boko no Hero, My Hero Academia, manga chapters 187 and 188. And letting y'all know, spoilers will be told, so please proceed at your own risk. On that note, let's go. Alright, in Boko no Hero manga chapter 187, we actually get some more in-depth backstory and information about Todoroki's family, his brothers, his sister, and more information about his mother, which also connects to Endeavor as far as finding out more about what I like to call in this chapter the beginning of his redemption, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first, in this chapter we actually get to see the brother and sister come to visit the mom in the hospital, and during their time in the visit, they inadvertently let the mom know about how Endeavor is number one. And also during that conversation, we find out that the kids still harbor great resentment towards Endeavor because of how they treated their family, their mother, Todoroki. And now it seems like they said that he basically forgot about them after 10 years. Which the mother reminds them that's not true. And then she goes on to talk about this flower. And in this panel, we just see this one single flower, I believe it's a rose, that's in the vase. And she says that she only told Endeavor one time about how much she liked this flower. And I don't believe it's the same flower after 10 years. So I guess Horikoshi trying to make a reference that somehow, some way, Endeavor always come and replace that flower every time it's about to die. And with that statement, it seems to me like it's still some type of connection between Endeavor and his wife. But as we all know, he basically stated, or was already presumed, that he used his wife to create Todoroki, Shota, so his ice and fire powers can make him succeed All Might. But now we see the flower into play in the story, and now finding out that Endeavor replaces the flower every chance he gets because he remembered that his wife loved this flower even though she only told him one time. It makes me realize that something else could be there, that we actually could get some type of Endeavor redemption some type of way. But even though I really don't want Endeavor to be redeemed for everything he done with his family, his wife, and Shota, but more in-depth analysis and character development with Endeavor to find out what makes him tick, what made him push himself so hard to be number one, that he basically had to disregard his family, his kids, and everything to surpass All Might that much. What was his purpose? What was his drive? What was the issues that he dealt with because of this? It's like in other anime and mangas, we see like how Vegeta in Dragon Ball was number 2, always trying to chase Goku because he was the strongest. Or, and depending on each one's preference, how Naruto always was trying to chase after Sasuke because he felt like Sasuke was stronger than him. Or in Sasuke's eyes, Sasuke always chased after Naruto because Naruto was the strongest. It's that, in that obsession with becoming number one or the greatest, that leads to different factors as far as emotional or physical or mental breakdowns. And as far as Endeavor, it will be interesting because he'd be the first one, except for Vegeta in Dragon Ball, but that's like a total different version or different circumstances, with a family, and he's just trying to use his family to better his chances to somehow have somebody supersede All Might. So if we get some more character development and find out more information about what makes Endeavor tick, I would definitely appreciate it. So let me know what y'all think. So let me know what y'all thoughts is on Endeavor possibly getting the redemption in these couple of chapters coming up, or more backstory on his accession to be number one. Just let me know your opinions in the comment section. Also in this chapter, as the fight continues, We see even Endeavor mention about the nomu, that the nomu is evolving and getting smarter because it's able to figure out that Endeavor is like losing stamina, losing strength, to the point where even Endeavor has to admit that this nomu, whoever created it, is faster and stronger than Endeavor. Now, my question to y'all is, as we've seen before when the nomu first was created by Shirawaki, that Shirawaki stated that the nomus was created only to fight All Might and only meant to fight All Might at 100%. So now it has me thinking, whoever sent these nomus was only meant to fight the strongest, which was All Might. So was this Sensei's contingency plan? If All Might was still around and was still able to be the #1 hero, was this his plan to have these nomus be next up to fight All Might? And now, here's the thing. Now that these nomus is out here and there's no All Might, and we see right now that Endeavor is having a hard time trying to fight this nomu, who will be able now to fight these nomus? Because I don't think none of the heroes is on an All Might level to fight these nomus. And I don't think nobody else, unless they come up with a new character art, or even have a chance to beat these nomus. So who's next? Who is able to, with enough power, beat these nomus? And how you think the problem with these nomus is going to play out, as far as who's going to beat it, or even if Endeavor can beat it. And the last thing about manga chapter 187 is you get more information about Hawk's quirk, which is called Mighty Wings. And Hawk's quirk seems to be more of a support quirk. It's his wings, or his feathers, has the ability to, as we see in this chapter, rescue all 76 people because of all the debris from the building. And as Hawk says, he only has a certain amount of feathers that can do a certain amount of things. So he said he couldn't get all the debris up because he didn't have enough feathers, but he had enough to save all 76 people, as his feathers had the strength and the power to move these citizens out of harm's way. So let me know what y'all thoughts are about Hawk's ability when we seen it the first time, when we used it to save the citizens from the debris. Just leave something in the comment section below, and let's go ahead and talk about manga chapter 188. In manga chapter 188, we actually find some information or some key developments. And one of the things I want to talk about is Endeavor. And during his fight with the nomu, we see that for the first time we actually see Endeavor like really banged up, really damaged, really going through it against somebody that we see is vastly superior and stronger. And during this time we actually see the downside of Endeavor's quirk. Endeavor mentions that because of his quirk, every time he shoots off a fire blast or a scorching fist, his body starts to overheat. And because his body overheats, he starts losing his physical stamina. He starts becoming weaker at a very high rate. So he knows he has to wrap up this fight with a nomu real quick. And during that time, we see him talk about his weakness. We see a flashback to his family. And he says, basically, what I like to quote, makes it seem like he did it for them. So it has me wondering, is this one of the things we're going to see fleshed out more? And what are your opinions on that? And for me, it seems like Endeavor is trying to say that the reason he had these kids with his wife is because of her ice power can regulate his fire ability. So like somebody like Todoroki, Shota, because he got fire and ice abilities, his ice can regulate his heat, so he won't have the same flaws as Endeavor. And that's why it makes sense, because when he said that he believes Shota would be the one to surpass All Might, because his ice powers can cover up the weaknesses of his fire powers, making him stronger. So that's interesting when we see Endeavor mention that, or I shouldn't mention that, as far as it seems like he subtly mentions it when he talks about his kids, talk about how he did it for them. So that was kind of interesting to me. So let me know what y'all think about that. And would that lead to another reason he's trying to do all this is for his family to see him in a different light, to see him as a true hero, to some type of redemption? That's something I mentioned as far as 187, that I think that Endeavor is going to get some type of redemption or forgiveness from his family. So let me know what y'all think about that. Is that going to be covering this fight, or because it will happen after this fight? Let me know what your thoughts on that. And as we see in this fight, the nomu keeps on going, and his last final attack had no effect. As we've seen that the nomu just came out of nowhere. At the end of the chapter, it gave Endeavor a vicious, possible fatal blow to his eye. As we see that Horikoshi shadowed that out, because that's how vicious that attack looks. And now, here's the thing. If they kill Endeavor off after like what? Maybe 1 day of being #1 hero? Or 1 week? Or however long it was? What would be the ramifications of that? Like, how would that make the public feel to know that they're next in line to All Might? Their #1 hero after All Might just got KO'd in his first week as #1? How would the public feel about the heroes now? We already know there's some trepidation and some lingering thoughts with the public because of the heroes. Now this, how would the My Hero world change because of this? And what would be the character development with Shota if we find out his pop just got KO'd? And how would Rita and the rest of the class 1A and the rest of the students react to that? I don't think Endeavor is done, but I think that can definitely send some shockwaves, especially for future story progression and character development, if the next in line #1 hero is KO'd. So let me know what y'all thoughts is in the comment section below about that. Is Endeavor done, or y'all think he's still going to be ticking? And quickly, the last thing I want to talk about is Hawks. As we've seen with Hawks did an attack on one of the weaker nomus to save him from one of the citizens. And Hawks said that his powers was based off speed and not for power. So because of that, it has me thinking Hawks' true purpose of recruiting Endeavor, it was the fact that Hawks couldn't do it alone, power-wise. Hawks basically said himself that he don't have enough power in this chapter. In the last chapter, see that he has the quirk of more of a support role. So it makes me seem like Hawks' whole plan was to get Endeavor to maybe team up with him as like a permanent thing. Maybe like Endeavor and Hawks being, not Hawks being a sidekick, but him being like an ally to Endeavor. And Hawks' support role and charisma can help Endeavor rise up in the ranks and become more public. So that's what I was thinking. Hawks probably had like some type of idea, like they could work as a team on that note. Like his public persona can rub off and help Endeavor, and Endeavor's firepower can help Hawks, because like they balance each other out. But let me know what y'all think about that idea in the comment section below. And on that note, I'm signing off. Man and Fairy want to say good night. Like, comment, subscribe to the video if you like it. Also subscribe to my channel. And the man streams will never die.